Okay, I'm going to page up, page down. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 4 of WWE The Next Generation in TEW 2016. This is night 2 of the draft, SmackDown Live, and we managed to mess up the recording already. I didn't mess it up. Open Broadcast Software did. It decided to not stop recording, and the program crashed, and we lost the entirety of the video file for SmackDown Live Draft Night 2, so we're going to have to do it a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the picks, what happened with those, explain them, and then we will go back through, we will look at the card, and we will look at what everything got. So the show opened up with a promo with Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan hyping the night's matches, things of that nature, saying that there were multiple draft picks on the line. They re-announced Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles in the main event for 3 draft picks. They announced the newest woman on the SmackDown Live roster, Sasha Banks, will take on longtime friend Bayley for a draft pick. Randy Orton will go one-on-one with Seth Rollins with 2 draft picks on the line. And the most interesting match of all, Raw's Jimmy Uso will face SmackDown Live's Jey Uso with a draft pick on the line. But we start the night with Baron Corbin versus Heath Slater for a draft pick. And Baron Corbin obviously winds up winning the match, and that will yield SmackDown Live 1 draft pick of The Miz. The Miz comes out, cuts a short promo on coming back to SmackDown Live. He's going to make SmackDown Live awesome. And so that is the first pick of the 2018 WWE Draft, is The Miz. Then, let me check the card again really quick. We have Jimmy versus Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso winds up winning the match, just barely. And then that would yield a draft pick for Monday Night Raw. And that draft pick will wind up being Jey Uso. So the Usos are reunited on Monday Night Raw. Their after promo is just like they hug in the ring. They get an ovation from the crowd because they put on a pretty good match. And then they're finally reunited. Well, after 2 days they're reunited. So I thought that was a pretty cool story to build into this draft. And then that would lead into our next match, which is the Miztourage versus Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Gable and Benjamin walk out on the match, costing them the match. They then cut a promo. Well, Chad Gable cuts the promo and says that they're hoping to be drafted to Monday Night Raw because, once again, they're dissatisfied with the opportunities they've been given on SmackDown, and so they have a very good feeling that since their tag match was worth 2 draft picks, I forgot to add that, since their tag match was worth 2 draft picks, they have a very good feeling that those 2 draft picks will be Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. So the first of those picks is Shelton Benjamin is going to Monday Night Raw. They're happy about that in the ring, and they're waiting pick number 2, which is Kofi Kingston. So Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable have been split up by the draft. Shelton is going to Raw, Gable is staying on SmackDown. But the more interesting story here may be that Kofi Kingston has been separated from the New Day and is going to Monday Night Raw, while Big E and Xavier Woods stay on SmackDown Live. So then that would take us into our next thing. Well, Shelton and Gable had a little bit of a confrontation in the ring. Shelton tried to console him. Gable pushed him off and headed to the back by himself. That leads into Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, who had a very good 15-minute match. Seth Rollins picks up the win, and that yields, I think, 2 draft picks for Monday Night Raw. The first of the draft picks is Randy Orton himself. So there's 3 people tonight who have lost matches and been drafted, all of them to Monday Night Raw, surprisingly, actually. So Randy Orton is going to Monday Night Raw. That is the first one. And the second pick winds up being Carmella going to Monday Night Raw. And she comes out and cuts a promo on, obviously, it makes sense for the Raw Women's Champion to be on Raw. And since I'm the newest superstar on Monday Night Raw's roster, I guarantee every Monday is going to be Fabulous. Yes. Fabulous. Carmella is going to make Monday Night Raw fabulous. So then Sasha Banks and Bayley put on what was actually a very disappointing match. It was only rated a 56 overall, which I think is too terribly low considering they had the NXT match of the year a few years ago. But whatever, Sasha Banks gets the win, so that yields a pick for SmackDown Live. only SmackDown Live's second pick of the evening, as Raw is dominating SmackDown here, and that pick winds up being Drew McIntyre to SmackDown Live. He comes out, cuts a promo in a SmackDown shirt about having not been on SmackDown in many years, having not been in a ring in many months, and he is proud to make his return on SmackDown Live and finally get a chance to compete for the WWE Championship, as he feels this time things will be different and he will hold that title for a long time. So then that brings up main event time. Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles actually had a very good 22-minute match in which Shinsuke Nakamura winds up blatantly cheating to beat AJ Styles and earning those 3 draft picks for Monday Night Raw. He's the heel that ties it up 1-1. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura both have 1 win apiece in that series in the WWE. And that yields, as I said, 3 draft picks for Raw. And those 3 draft picks wind up being, first of all, the Authors of Pain are the first 2 picks. So I really wanted the Authors of Pain to come up to the main roster. They did in WWE, so I figured that they should probably come up to the main roster in my game. I wanted to put them on SmackDown, but I feel like putting them on Raw is a little bit better choice because there's a little bit better competition there, and I think I have some better plans for them on Monday Night Raw. So they come out, they do their thing, they wave, and the last pick of the televised portion of the draft is on Monday Night Raw, and that pick is Kevin Owens headed to Monday Night Raw. He comes out, he cuts a vicious promo on SmackDown management saying that he's finally able to get away from the abusive and power-hungry Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. He's so happy to be away from this terrible managed He's finally able to get away from this terribly managed SmackDown Live crew, and he's going back to Monday Night Raw to challenge for his Universal title that he never received a rematch for, and he's going to make Monday nights the Kevin Owens show once again. So that concluded the televised portion of the draft. I then also said that there's going to be a supplemental draft up on WWE Network after the show. What that is basically I'm just going to upload another video, whether it's tomorrow or the day after that, and it's going to be just showing you the supplemental picks. There's not really many, but I want to make sure you guys see those, and there wasn't time to put them all on the televised portion of Raw and SmackDown. But now we will very quickly take a look at the booked show and all the ratings. So here's the show. It was held in the Sears Center Arena. I wanted to keep a little bit of consistency in front of 11,000 people, sellout crowd. It got a rating of 84B+, 22.25 on TV, which is just under 17 million viewers. As you can see, the grades were pretty decent. Miz going to SmackDown was actually the highest graded segment of the night. Very happy with that. 87 for Nakamura and Styles. I'm not going to go through and say all the things, but Angle and Bryan opened the show to an 86. I was very happy with the show. There was a few things I wish were rated higher, especially Banks and Bayley, and a little bit Jimmy and Jay. I feel like there could have been something better there. But that's what we got for the show. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry that I was not able to bring it in its entirety, but I feel like this did a little bit make up for it. We got those cool-ass graphics for the draft, and I will want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the supplemental draft if you choose to watch that. But if not, I will see you guys on the first Monday Night Raw of the next generation as we have officially gone past the draft. Thank you guys. See you then.